It is my honor to introduce you all to one of my favorite teachers, the one and only Mr. Craig Savage.
Jade, thank you so much. What a lovely introduction. I hope I can live up to the sentiments. Every once in a while you come across a student and you're teaching them and you have this flashback, you realize you're teaching an earlier version of yourself, and I think that's why we butted heads sometimes, but in a good way for sure. Well, we're here, graduation day. You made it. You don't look so surprised. It might be a clerical error. They're going to hand you a diploma, just make a run for it before they figure it out. Families, how did we get here, right? The time, where did it go? Your babies, all grown up. You're torn, aren't you? Some of you, a part of you wants to hold on, and a part of you is ready for some quiet. Well, don't worry. You've done a great job. They're ready. I've had the pleasure of teaching nearly the entirety of this senior class and advising 14 of them for 4 years, and yet they still ask me to speak today. Seniors, thank you. I'm honored. I do feel a special sympathy for Jade, Remy, and Charlie, who, between multiple courses, advisory, or soccer, have endured more hours with me this year than any others. You three should be exempt from this talk for time served. Due to the nature of the courses I teach, and possibly my very nature, I often spiral into some life advice diatribes in my classroom, so I struggled with what's left to say here at graduation. A good friend told me not to stress out about it because you guys probably won't listen anyway. I asked my advisory what they want me to talk about, and Layla said, "Just keep it short, Savage." Which was followed by some high fives and at least one audible amen. There we go. They know me well. I'm going to do my best to keep it short, but I do hope you listen. You may remember that I spoke to you in the black box at the beginning of the year at your senior retreat. I told you I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed that you were seniors, that alone didn't make you special in any way. But I challenged you to make the most of your senior year, to make it worthy of celebration, to earn it. So now, are we impressed with the young adults you've become? Yeah, a little. Certainly the list of accomplishments Dr. Rush read off makes it pretty evident that they're an impressive group. But I have some bad news for you. While this feels like the end, like you've climbed the mountain, like you've accomplished something grand, we hope your goal wasn't to peak in high school. So you're not done yet. You see, this is a commencement speech, to commence, to begin. The next stage of your life. You've only just reached base camp. The real climb awaits you. The chance to make significant impacts lie in what you do next. First off, college. The most fertile intellectual environment you may ever experience. What are you going to do with it? You have the chance to explore, create, and ponder things that have never been considered, and the only limitations are the ones you place upon yourself. Make sure to get behind the curtain and don't anchor yourself to the prescribed curriculum, otherwise you'll have paid a lot of money for something you could have Googled. Reach further than that, climb higher. We want to see where you can go. I can only imagine the great things you have in store for us. I'm so optimistic about the successes in your future. As you stand at this base camp, you carry with you the lessons instilled in you and rooted in your school tenets of wisdom, honor, and service. I hope they guide you to success in a purpose-driven life. A success that you alone get to define. It isn't solely about reaching the summit. Spoiler alert, there'll be many. It's also about embracing the journey and the person you become during the ascent. Because once you reach the top, you see all the other peaks yet to explore. Many of you thought that getting to senior year was the pinnacle. You thought things would get easier. but I think you quickly figured out that we weren't just coasting downhill. No, we, your faculty, made your life difficult for the last 10 months. You're welcome. You see, it wasn't our job to smooth the path for you. It's our job to prepare you for what's to come, no matter what that might be. A couple of years ago, I saw a wonderful video clip of Kara Lawson, the Duke women's basketball coach. She overheard some of her players saying, once we get through preseason practices, things will get easier. She explains that everyone seems to be waiting for that next stage where things will get easier, but it never does. You get out of high school, move on to college or a job, it's not getting easier. There's another peak in the distance. You finish school and start a career, it's not getting easier. You find the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, it's not getting easier. You start a family, it's definitely not getting easier. You quit your job working for someone else and start your own business, it's not getting easier. You retire and sit on a beach to read books, and it's not easy getting up out of that beach chair. The point is, as Coach Lawson explained to her players, life doesn't get easier. We just get better at handling the hard things. The chaos of life doesn't change, we do. We keep hiking up new hills, carrying that pack, but along the way, we're filling it with tools we need to get even further. And we're learning to adjust to all the challenges we'll encounter. And speaking of tools, remember to invest in the most important one, yourself. Eat well, sleep well, exercise, save money. Don't trade what you want most for what you want now. Your future self will thank you. As I was preparing for this speech, I came across a poem about a leaf being blown about by the wind. Helpless to affect its destiny, the leaf eventually gets pulverized into dust. It's not a very uplifting metaphor for life, but it's accurate. The wind is going to blow. You just have to decide how you're going to respond. Will you let life toss you around like a leaf, or will you be a sailboat, using the very winds and storms that challenge you to propel you forward? Our hope is that you always remember you have agency. You have tools, skills, and knowledge at your disposal. How you control your destiny. You choose which course you'll take, how you'll get there, and who you invite along for the journey. When things don't go your way, and often they won't, it's frustrating, uncertain, and scary, and that's okay. A little fear is healthy. It keeps you safe to heed the warning signs. It would be reckless to ignore them. But in excess, fear can be your biggest impediment to progress. The problem is, there's always someone sounding an alarm. There's always a naysayer telling you can't, you shouldn't, don't risk it. As teenagers, I know you're very good at ignoring that kind of advice. But what happens when that naysayer is you? When doubts creep in? That's when you have to dig a little deeper. There's a saying, a boat is safe in the harbor, but that's not why it's a boat. Well, guess what? It's time for you to leave the harbor, and I hope you do it over and over again, even when it's scary. You're allowed to be afraid and still venture forth. Not every journey will be a straight shot with the wind at your back. There'll be times when you have to tack slowly against the headwinds blowing you off course, a frustrating, indirect route requiring patience and a slow burn commitment to your goals. Remembering, in a world where we all want instant gratification, the most lasting and meaningful achievements often take time and unwavering effort and focus. Will you give up and let that wind push you away? When the wind's at your back, will you have the courage to fully unfurl your sails and take maximum advantage, throwing caution to the wind, or will you reef them in fear? Some people are afraid to succeed because it pushes them into unknown territory, but that's the place where true discoveries are found. And what happens when you hit life's doldrums? When there's no wind at all? You're stuck. It's hard to move forward. How will you handle that? Will you take stock, mend your sails, take on provisions while keeping an eye on the horizon? And when it takes even longer than you thought, will you get out the oars and start to row? Are you willing to spend energy, get sweaty and dirty, and exhaust yourself to keep moving forward? Or if all else fails, are you humble enough and brave enough to send out an SOS for help? Inevitably, there will be storms that blow you far off course, threaten to swamp your boat, sink you to the bottom, smash you against the rocks. In those moments, you'll have choices. You can swim ashore, build a new boat, adjust your course. You just might find that this new and unintended destination is where you were meant to be all along. But no matter where you land, the journey continues. You can put your skills, knowledge, and passion to work where you are. Or muster the courage to climb the next mountain or set back to sea. The choices are many, and they are yours to make. No matter what you decide, I think you'll find that the person that set out on the journey will not be the same person that reaches the next destination. As you navigate this new landscape, remember everyone who crosses your path presents an opportunity to learn. Be willing to listen and embrace differences, and don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. Everyone's on their own path. Your journey is uniquely yours. There's so much more I'd like to say in the way of advice, but I promise to keep it short. So I'm going to leave you with a final thought from the poet Paulo Coelho, who said, "Maybe the journey isn't about becoming anything. Maybe it's about unbecoming everything that isn't really you, so that you can be who you were meant to be in the first place." That truly is my hope for you, and likely everyone here celebrating you today who have supported you as you reach this point. We hope what you take what this faculty, the school, and your families have instilled in you and become the people you were meant to be, ready to tackle whatever journey you set out on to build a life that offers you all the challenges and accomplishments, setbacks and victories that take you to the summits and views that make you feel the most alive and most authentically you. Class of 2025, as you embark on your journey, you will be constantly shaped by forces of nature outside your control. Embrace this state of always becoming, always learning, always growing. And don't wait to start making your impact. You're ready now. We're proud of you and we wish you Godspeed.